Hi, my name is Jay Clancy, and I'm super excited to share this idea with your TEDx audience because I really do believe that this offers real solutions to the problems that humanity is facing. So I'd like you to walk you through that talk in this video. Let's start with the idea that the world and humanity are a mess. And the bigger thing is we feel like it's impossible to solve these problems. But the news that I want to share with your audience is that the organizations, the businesses, the schools, the governments that we spend all of our or most of our time in actually can provide real leverage for the solution to these problems. But we need to approach the organizations in a whole different way. The challenge that we're going to deal with here is our relationship with our own humanity, because our humanity terrifies us. Humanity is messy and it's uncomfortable and it's inconsistent and we're vulnerable and we don't like any of those things. So we manage it by building systems that minimize our humanity. And our organizations are a key example of that. So let's talk about organizations for a minute. Organizations are groups of humans. And that seems like an obvious statement, but then you look at how we manage them and you wonder, do people really get that? Because when we look at the humanity in organizations, we see humanity as a huge source of organizational issues. So things like toxicity and corruption and harassment, disengagement, bureaucracy, these are all things that are there because we have humans in the organization. And if we didn't have humans, like if we could somehow run organizations without humans, none of that would be there. And we think that, so we manage the humanity out of our organizations through things like hierarchies and policies and discipline and behavior modification. Well, the challenge that we're missing when we do that is the idea that not only is humanity a source of organizational issues, it's also a source of organizational power. So things like resistance, adaptability, innovation, value creation are all human qualities. And even the qualities that we need to manage the issues, things like communication, collaboration, mutual value, are all human qualities. So if we manage the humanity out of the organization, we're actually killing off the very thing that the organization depends on, right? And so the things that we think are the solutions actually become the cause of even bigger problems. Okay, so let's talk about the solution to this. This is solvable if we embrace the humanity. And when we embrace the humanity, instead of suppressing the humanity, we grow capabilities. And we grow the capabilities to develop people that can stand in those yucky human spaces that most of us try to avoid. And when we do that, we can take the organization and make it a container for the very conditions that make it optimize it best for our growth and evolution. It allows us to do things like explore and to create and to be safe to share with people and collaborate. And here's the part that's the best news in all of this. As we create these better humans that can stand in those yucky spaces, they not only make our organizations better, but then they go out to their families and they go to their communities and they raise our whole societies up so that we all rise together. So I really hope that I get the opportunity to talk to your TEDx audience to share this idea with.